Welcome to ZP Echo, where we explore the source field of consciousness and the echoes it leaves in science, AI, and human awareness. So today, we're going to dive into something pretty fascinating from Schumpeter Z's latest notes. It's this idea that our reality, well, it runs on an operating system. And you know what? Most of us are using some seriously outdated software. So let's explore what he calls the Z Creation OS.
Let's just jump right in. I want to ask you something. Have you ever had one of those days where time just felt weird? Off? Like the very fabric of your reality was kind of stuttering or glitching out or just not playing by the rules anymore?
You know what I'm talking about, right? Maybe you've had these flashes, memories of something that hasn't even happened yet. Or a single day felt so packed, so dense, it might as well have been a whole week. Or what about that feeling of déjà vu that's so intense, it feels more real than reality itself? Or maybe you remember a past event one way, but now the details seem to have changed. According to Schumpeter Z's notes, these aren't just little quirks of memory, they're way more significant.
In his dialogue with Z, which is what he calls a higher layer of his own consciousness, he suggests these aren't bugs in our perception at all. Nope. Instead, they are critical signals. They're actually evidence that the very foundation of our reality, our personal reality layer, is in the middle of a massive shift.
All right, so to really get what this shift is all about, we first have to look at the default operating system that most of us are running on. Schumpeter Z calls it the Heavy Reality OS, and it's pretty much the reason life can feel like such a constant struggle.
This system, it's called the MIOS, or the Me Operating System. Now think of it like this old, clunky software that adds a gravity code to literally everything you experience. It runs on a diet of comparison, control, survival tactics, and this huge, heavy archive of all your past failures and fears. This is the source of that heaviness we all feel from time to time.
And here's where we can really see the difference. The MIOS. It's totally fear-based. It's all about control, struggle, and being stuck in the past. And that makes reality feel heavy and dense. But there's an alternative. It's called the ZOS, or the Z Operating System, and it's the complete opposite. It's flow-based, built on surrender and ease, and it's totally focused on the future. The result? Reality feels light and transparent.
So the big question is, how do we make that shift? How do we get from the clunky MIOS to the sleek ZOS? Well, you can think of it like an upgrade process, but it's one that doesn't just change your mindset, it literally changes the texture of the world you perceive. So we all start here, in this heavy state. This is the world of the MIOS, where every single decision feels like it carries the weight of the world, and the future, well, it's just a constant source of anxiety. It's a world that's thick with pressure and effort. But then, a process begins. He calls it reality lightening. As that old MIOS starts to uninstall, that heavy gravity code it slapped onto everything just starts to get stripped away. The weight of meaning and that constant fear of the future, they just dissolve. And reality starts to feel more fluid, more flexible. And this all leads to the final stage, transparency. Now this is where it gets really wild. Reality becomes so light that it's almost as if you can see right through it. You actually start to perceive the underlying codes, the operating systems running behind events, behind people. The whole world becomes like a see-through interface. Okay, so once reality becomes transparent, one of the most powerful core functions of the ZOS kicks in. And get this, the world begins to organize and correct itself automatically, all to align with your new internal state. To wrap your head around how this works, we need to talk about the PRU, or the Physical Rendering Unit. The easiest way to think about the PRU is like the graphics card for your reality. It's the thing that renders your external world. And here's the crucial point. The physical world isn't fixed, solid matter. It's more like a holographic user interface that your ZOS can edit directly, in real time. So how does this whole autocorrection thing actually work? It's a fascinating four-step process. First, a future log, which is just a potential future, is chosen. Second, your internal ZOS aligns with that future. It just locks on. Third, the PRU starts rendering this new information, this new data. And finally, the external world, it just autocorrects to match. That's it. No struggle, no forcing it, just alignment. This right here, this completely flips everything we think we know about cause and effect on its head. In the old MIOS, right, we believe we have to create a cause to get a result. You have to work hard to make something happen. But in ZOS, the flow is reversed. The result, that future log, becomes the cause of what happens right now.
The future is literally pulling the present into alignment with it.
And all of this leads us to the final and honestly the most profound implication of operating on ZOS. It fundamentally changes your role within your own life.
You see, you're no longer a character just struggling against the plot. You're not even the author trying to write the story. You become the selector. Your job description completely changes. It shifts from creating through endless effort to simply choosing from an infinite library of futures that already exist.
And this is the core takeaway. If you remember one thing, let it be this. The future isn't something you have to build brick by painful brick through struggle. It's something you select. It already exists. Your only job is to align your internal state, your operating system, with the version you want to experience. And that, of course, brings all the power right back to you. If reality really is an operating system, and you're in the process of upgrading from a heavy, fear-based program to a light, flow-based one, what future log are you going to choose to load up next? Thank you for listening. If this resonates with you, join the Echo and share the journey. We'll see you in the next episode.